to you to win in America?
Very important.
With European trainers increasingly turning their sights to America, Giant's Causeway came heartbreakingly close to providing Aidan with his first American win. But the twin lures of prestige and shrewd business acumen meant he'd be back for more.
When you're standing a horse, and he's just raced exclusively on the turf, he's attractive to European breeders. If you can go and be successful on the dirt, you immediately bring the American element in. You take a horse like Giant's Causeway, for example. It's no secret that he got a number of mares from America on what he's achieved. And if you're standing a horse for a large sum of money, there's a limit to the amount of people in Europe who can pay those fees.
I suppose you have a lot of top-class horses and a lot of room for them. There are only a few classics here in England, France maybe. I'd say America, here I come from this house. Yeah.
This is WSCA-FM, New York's finest radio station, and we're at Belmont Park for the Breeders' Cup, the Thoroughbred Championship of the world. Bob Baffert reckons he has a real superstar and officer, and it looks like it's going to be officer first, and the rest nowhere in the juvenile. Other news is that the Irish are back for more. Young Irish trainer AIDAN O'Brien certainly trying to do it his way, arriving so late, and it looks as if O'Brien's best shot will be on the turf, as it's 10 years since a European win of any kind on the dirt here at the Belmonts.
There are a lot of important factors that go into a victory in the Breeders' Cup. It's obviously a World Championship day, and you have horses come from all over the place that are ready to run their best, and you certainly have to be at your best on that day.
AIDAN O'Brien's horses flew in here on Tuesday evening, and as soon as they touched down, bloods were taken off the horses and were sent by Learjet to the University of Ames in Iowa. The situation with AIDAN's horses are, though, that they've not taken their CEM swabs, so they're here on a racing waiver. They're kept in the quarantine barn, and although they're allowed to go out and train, they can't mix with the local horse population, except on the race day, obviously.
I was really happy with their outlook this morning, and they seemed happy and content, and they seem to be eating very well in there now. Not too many worries so far, anyway, until tomorrow afternoon, anyway.
They have great horses and good trainers and good jockeys. It's not that problem. They take the worst of it, really. If we were to take this same group of horses and run them at the Cour or someplace, we're going to have the disadvantage. Their shipping usually is right on top of the rays. They usually go into a surface that they're not familiar with. They go into track configurations they're not familiar with.
They not only have to adjust to the footing, they also have to adjust to the kickback in the face. Although a horse has a very unique eye and can tolerate and can see through the sand when his eye is covered, I think that at times the vision may be blurred slightly, and if they're in real tight quarters at the same time that the vision is blurred, I think it hinders their chances as well.
I think international racing is great for everybody. It brings all the farm lines together, and everybody can get a handle on the horses, and everybody finds out together what horse suits what races, and it's experience.
AIDAN who? Just kidding, AIDAN! Oh, he's wonderful. Absolutely unbelievable that the accomplishments that he's achieved at this early part of his life.
I find him very refreshing. He has no ego whatsoever. He's very open. I'm very open with him. It's easy for me to be open with him and to give him any help that I may, simply because I don't have to compete against him but once a year.
I've met him once, you know, very nice guy, sort of quiet guy, you know. We need to spice it up a little bit, you know. David, what was that stuff, that chili red? What was that stuff that the cayenne pepper stuff? Panama red? Sprinkle that on his testicles, you know, get him going. He'll come up with some good stuff.
There's an exceptional call here called officer, and if he's as good as they say, will probably be in his weight. But Johannesburg, I'll be happy. I think he's going to run a good race. It's just a question of it's a mile and 16, whether he has the stamina just to run it out.
Arthur, he's we refer to him as a superstar. I'm coming in here with a superstar. I don't know how good he's going to be like next year, but for a 2-year-old, he's pretty wicked. And if we get the right trip, I just can't see him getting beat. To me, Irish, English, they're all the same to me. You know, I don't know what. I know Gallileo, Johannesburg. He looks like he's a dirt horse. Been running on grass, so I don't know about him at all.
We felt going if we could get a result, it would be a great achievement. It's so difficult, and But it was important for everybody. It was important to put a marker in America and show that we could come and do it. And that's what made it really satisfying.
Well, coming up will be the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, and we talked about favorites and how they fared today. I wonder what Bob Baffert is thinking right now. He trains Officer, who opens up as the 4 to 5 favorite on the morning line, the lowest priced favorite of the day.
Well, Tom, when you talk 2-year-olds this year, you're talking Officer. He is the man when it comes to these 2-year-olds. And if he goes on and wins here this afternoon, you know, people are going to start talking about him in the same breath as, dare I say, Secretariat. There's Johannesburg, and never been on the dirt. Never been past 6 furlongs, but he's also never lost a race. Anytime they haven't lost, you got to respect him, Bob. But here, you know, Officer has, like you said, he's been in a class by himself, and you know, unless he gets stuck down along the rail, doesn't run his race, I just don't see him losing here.
Now we're ready for that start. And they're off.
I think it'll be very hard for any horse to equal that feat. 4 Group 1s in 4 different countries. It's a fantastic achievement. He started at Fairyhouse, ended up in the Breeders' Cup. It's a long road, and to coach a 2-year-old through all that and end up at the very end of the season for his best performance, I think it was a great training performance by him.
Officer has been head-to-head with Came Home the entire way. Bridges on the outside. They've run 3/4 in 1:11 flat.
I felt there was going to be pace on, and I felt that Officer wouldn't get an easy lead. And my plan was to slot in behind them and see how they were going and get a toe as long as possible. I was in to sit and wait as long as I wanted to, and he couldn't really run and finish.
Score 1 for Europe as the best 2-year-old in Europe beats the best North American 2-year-old in Officer. Now the champion 2-year-old in all the world. The first Breeders' Cup victory for Mick Kinane, the champion Irish jockey, and for AIDAN O Brien, the young trainer from Ballydoyle, who's had such an unbelievable season.
I'm here with Mick Kinane. Mick, you had some bad luck last year. This looks like it makes up for it. What a wonderful horse.
Yeah, he's been a champion every step of the way through the year. We've had a few dry runs here with some decent horses, and this year we brought the best we could bring. And Michael Tabor and John Magner, they're great supporters, and this is what they wanted, and I'm really happy for them, you know. They're looking for the next stallion, the next champion, and they need to get him, and it's great that they got one this year. Yeah.
Mick, for everybody who's cheering you over in Ireland, well done.
Thanks very much.
He ran a great race, travelled great, quick and really well. He's a serious coach. Might get him a super ride. And,
especially after last year, that so close and so far.
Exactly, yeah. So everything went great, and he did a great on the day.
We're all delighted for you.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, David.
Thank you, my pleasure. Thank you.
Oh, you better believe it. They come here loaded for bear. Everybody's impressed. Obviously, he retained his form. He came here as a good horse, and he's leaving as a good horse. He's the best 2-year-old in the world.
David O'Brien is fighting that one today. Will you come back for more?
There's an old saying, does Dolly Parton sleep on her back? You know who Dolly Parton is?
Winning tough races is obviously tremendous for European horses, but when you do it to the Americans on the dirt, then there's nowhere to hide.
Well, I think they'll be staggered. I think there's a natural formality here, and that is that whenever the Europeans come over, they just put a line through them every time. But I think AIDAN O Brien today has come up trumps with Johannesburg, which must rate as one of the great training performances of the modern era.
it would be fantastic if you had the same surface in America and Europe and Japan, so horses could move around more freely. And I think it will happen. It's just a matter of when. You could have a situation where you could have the Breeders' Cup or the World Championship